I wanted to talk to you about is taking flight. So about taking flight over your life. When I think of taking flight in my episode, like I'm literally thinking about what got me to move to Florida and where I am today in life. Originally, I am from Southern California. The specific part I was raised was Anaheim, California. And Anaheim, California, if you guys don't know where it is a birth city of all the tourist stuff, which is Disneyland. But that's not the specs. And for me to really experience seeing like traumatic events going on in Southern California, like prostitution, I mean, it's everywhere, but in California, it is really bad. Florida is really bad too, but compared to the two, California is way worse. I'm seeing women of color like myself literally sell themselves to give themselves at least the basic minimum of like at least lodging, food, and all this. Like I told myself and this is during when I was walking towards my high school and coming back and walking towards going back to where I lived, and I was like, you know what, passing by it every day, I was like, I felt so bad because I was like, is this what I really want for myself? Is this where I don't know, I've always believed the people around you and people in your community really influence you, and not just only influence you, but they impact you greatly, especially who you live with and who you cohabitate. Like, I always believed at the end of the day, your decisions are based off of you, what you do, and what you say as well. But also seeing your environment. And when you see your environment, you are more susceptible to feed into it. And for me, I was like, I don't want to be in a financial mess where I know I can't pick myself up. So I moved to Florida because I was like, it's going to be hard, but I was like, at least there's some sort of resources that could help me get on my feet when I get older and really get my own place, having to get better networks so I could actually start making my own business and actually start grasping and growing. And that's where I actually wanted to feel like this is me. I don't have to feel like with California culture, a lot of people think it's partying, it is. It's like literally going from your 9 to 5 or your next job or next gig, partying on weekends and repeating it all over again. And I was like, you know what, to myself, do I really want to do that for the rest of my life? No, I want to make my life worth me. And I don't want to always have others involved in my life. And if they are involved, I want them to actually do better as well and really want better for themselves. And that's something that made me empowered. And what made me start this YouTube channel as well. And I'm so big on being independent as a woman, especially being financially independent. Like having to want better for yourself while also really diving deep and really going through the challenges, going through the adversity, and really look at what you're exactly facing in your season so you can be better to prepare yourself to see not what's about to come, but also utilizing the experiences and the knowledge that you have to actually give you your own stepping stone versus relying on family, having to rely on friends, which is the California motive, which I didn't like. And that's why I don't want to be influenced about how people make their decisions, like friends and family or family friends, and be like, you know what, this is where they want to be at. And that's something that I always felt like the people that you are around in your environment really make up the impact of how you're able to move, especially emotions are at stake. It's scary to having to see that, but having to also see people who are selling drugs or facing drugs or even becoming drug addicts or recovering, and seeing that is so traumatic because in life we're all going through a lot of stuff, but having to really choose yourself at the end and knowing what's best for you. What I learned in my last year, my senior year of high school, I actually learned how to travel, to actually take on the opportunities that are given and actually show the opportunities that are hidden as well, and especially education wise, because a lot of people, I stress this enough to all my people of color, but especially to Black women, get your education. Like, if you guys actually start asking and researching, it will take you a lot more farther than just only taking the message of packing your shit and going. Because I always tell everybody, the same place where you're at is not going to serve you the purpose for your next season of life. And that's where it comes from. For me, having to move to Florida as an adult made me realize, you know what? I was meant to move back because I needed to experience me being in the present moment of that. And moving to Florida, having to enjoy the culture, the different diversities of everybody, having to learn different ethnicities, learning more about history, a lot more, and expressing my creativity, which is my art. My art is content videos, which is writing, all that good stuff, and reading. So that's something that I wanted to express that to you guys. And really take on that chances of becoming the person who you are today, because we always evolve. And sometimes with evolving, you have to also take out things and belongings and people who are not meant to be into the next season, so you could be able to put yourself and self-center yourself to get to where you need to go. So goal, vision, make that happen. Stay tuned.